Kumilos na, magparehistro ka. Vote Pilipinas, makialam, makibahagi. Vote Pilipinas, kumilos na, magparehistro ka. Vote Pilipinas, makialam, makibahagi. Para sa bayan, para sa bayan. Vote Pilipinas, magparehistro ka. At makialam. Vote Pilipinas, para sa kinabukasan ng bawat isa. May pananagutan, alay natin para sa bayan. Ang boses mo'y gamitin, karapatan ang kinin. Heto na ang pagkakataon para makibahagi ang boto mo. Makapangyarihan, kaya magsama-sama para sa bayan. Vote Pilipinas, kumilos na, magparehistro ka. Vote Pilipinas, makialam, makibahagi. Vote Pilipinas, kumilos na, magparehistro ka. Vote Pilipinas, makialam, makibahagi. Para sa bayan, para sa bayan. Vote Pilipinas, magparehistro ka. At makialam. Vote Pilipinas, para sa kinabukasan ng bawat isa. May pananagutan, alay natin para sa bayan. Ang boses mo'y gamitin, karapatan ang kinin. Heto na ang pagkakataon para makibahagi ang boto mo. Makapangyarihan, kaya magsama-sama para sa bayan. Vote Pilipinas, kumilos na, magparehistro ka. Vote Pilipinas, makialam, makibahagi. Vote Pilipinas, kumilos na, magparehistro ka. Vote Pilipinas, makialam, makibahagi. Para sa bayan, para sa bayan. Vote Pilipinas, magparehistro ka. At makialam. Vote Pilipinas, para sa kinabukasan ng bawat isa. May pananagutan, alay natin para sa bayan. Ang boses mo'y gamitin, karapatan ang kinin. Heto na ang pagkakataon para makibahagi ang boto mo. Makapangyarihan, kaya magsama-sama para sa bayan. Vote Pilipinas, kumilos na, magparehistro ka. Vote Pilipinas, makialam, makibahagi. Vote Pilipinas, kumilos na, magparehistro ka. Vote Pilipinas, makialam, makibahagi. Para sa bayan, para sa bayan. Vote Pilipinas, magparehistro ka. At makialam. Vote Pilipinas, para sa kinabukasan ng bawat isa. May pananagutan, alay natin para sa bayan. Ang boses mo'y gamitin, karapatan ang kinin. Heto na ang pagkakataon para makibahagi ang boto mo. Makapangyarihan, kaya magsama-sama para sa bayan. Vote Pilipinas, kumilos na, magparehistro ka. Vote Pilipinas, makialam, makibahagi. Vote Pilipinas, kumilos na, magparehistro ka. Vote Pilipinas, makialam, makibahagi. Para sa bayan, para sa bayan. Vote Pilipinas, magparehistro ka. kumilos at makialam. Vote Pilipinas para sa kinabukasan ng bawat isa. May pananagutan, alay natin para sa bayan. Ang boses mo'y gamitin, karapatan ang kinin. Heto na ang pagkakataon para makibahagi ang boto mo. Makapangyarihan, kaya magsama-sama para sa bayan. Vote Pilipinas, kumilos na, magparehistro ka. Vote Pilipinas, makialam, makibahagi. Vote Pilipinas, kumilos na, magparehistro ka. Vote Pilipinas, makialam, makibahagi para sa bayan. Para sa bayan. Vote Pilipinas, magparehistro ka.
Yes.
Hi! Good afternoon! Maingay ang ating background. Hi!
Vote Pilipinas, tara kumilos at makialam. Vote Pilipinas, para sa kinabukasan ng bawat isa. May pananagutan, alay natin para sa bayan. Ang boses mo'y gamitin, karapatan ang kinin. Heto na ang pagkakataon para makibahagi ang boto mo. Makapangyarihan, kaya magsama-sama para sa bayan. Vote Pilipinas, kumilos na, magparehistro ka. Vote Pilipinas, makialam, makibahagi. Vote Pilipinas, kumilos na, magparehistro ka. Vote Pilipinas, makialam, makibahagi para sa bayan. Para sa bayan. Vote Pilipinas, magparehistro ka.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Magparehistro Ka Town Hall, brought to you by Vote Pilipinas and the Commission on Elections. I am 𝗃𝗴𝗵𝗿𝗶𝗃.
And I'm 𝗿𝗲𝗵𝗵𝗀𝗵𝗶𝗃, the Chief Operating Officer of V81 Radio and Digital Media Network and CEO of 𝗃cije Concepts, serving as your host for today. First of all, we would like to thank everyone who took the time to spend their Thursday afternoon with us. Before we proceed to the program, we'd like to acknowledge our community partners and everyone supporting the Vote Pilipinas campaign. The Commission on Elections, National Economic and Development Authority, Commission on Population and Development, Creator and Influencer Council of the Philippines, Green Bulb, Red Torch, the Philippine LGBT Chamber of Commerce, 𝗃cije Concepts, and V81 Radio, kabisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas, Presidential Communications Operations Office, and the Freedom of Information Program, Philippine Statistics Authority, Parish Pastoral Council for Responsible Voting, ABS-CBN, Rappler, Radio CSR, OC Records, Encircle, Towns Foundation, Spark Pilipinas, Kumu, Call Industries, and Facebook.
And of course, we can't forget our viewers on Facebook, Kumu, and V81. Alam naman nating lahat na kahit may pandemic, marami-rami pa rin tayong responsibilidad na kailangan gampanan. Kaya a big shout out to all of you who are tuning in and will be tuning in to our program. We encourage you guys to send in your comments, questions, and even greetings through our Zoom chat box. At para naman sa ating Facebook viewers, you can leave your messages on the comment section. Nasa kalahati na tayo ng taon. That means we're also nearing the 2022 elections. We have less than 3 months left before voter registration ends. Kaya if hindi ka pa rehistrado, sign mo na to.
Ayain nyo na ang inyong loved ones. Tara na't magtulungan para sama-sama tayong magrehistrado at boboto sa paparating na 2022 elections. If you need assistance, you may access the voter registration service test through votepilipinas.com, the official Vote Pilipinas website. The Vote Pilipinas website and today's town hall event are just glimpses of the efforts the campaign made in getting everyone to join in the conversation and register. What started as a passion project Vote Pilipinas has now turned into a nonprofit and nonpartisan information campaign and is now recognized as the official voter registration information campaign partner of COMELEC. So buckle up because we have a lot in store for you this afternoon. COMELEC representatives will be joining us to give you insights on their current data, featuring interviews with election officers and our esteemed partners.
Tama yan, Dor. Dagdag pa dito ang mga paalala sa pagpaparehistro at ang pagkakataon na masagot ang inyong mga katanungan sa tulong ni COMELEC spokesperson, Director 𝗃cie𝗄𝗏. Lastly, because we want to maximize our reach and motivate the people to register, we will be premiering the #magparehistro_ka video. So keep on streaming. If you want to share this event with your friends and followers, feel free to do so and use the hashtags #VotePilipinas, #magparehistro_ka, and #ParaSaBayan.
It's going to be a busy day for everyone. I might as well open the program with a message. Kicking off the #magparehistro_ka town hall, an impact entrepreneur and solutions architect, serving as the Impact Hub's regional lead for Asia and the Pacific, the CEO of Impact Hub Manila, and the founder of Vote Pilipinas. Please give it up for Ms. 𝗃cie 𝗄𝗏.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon. Thank you to our lovely host, Dor and Margo. Hello. Good afternoon. I just want to acknowledge the presence of Director 𝗃cie𝗄𝗏 and our esteemed partners from the Commission on Elections. Good afternoon to our partners who are here. You guys are, I'm happy to say there are too many to mention. I'm so thrilled to have you all here. I will make this very quick. When Dor earlier mentioned that this is really a passion project, this really started because the community that I represent, the startup community, have always been wanting to be involved in creating solutions and providing innovative headways to making sure that the Philippines were advancing, right? And so the goal is to commit our partners in the community of the startup, the ecosystem, and also the people that we work with, our partners in government, in corporates, and in civil society that we collaborate with continuously. And I think I will always be dumbstruck at the fact that it has grown to be this big, but that is all thanks to partners like Director 𝗃cie, the Commission on Election, for really handpicking, the campaign and trusting our crazy minds to be doing all of this. It has not been easy just because, syempre, when it's a multi-stakeholder partnership, a lot of it really happens through a lot of willpower between the partners making it happen. And so I'm just so grateful to everybody who took on the chance and are giving time. You have no idea how many meetings on the back is happening just to put all of this together. And our goal again is to make sure that in partnership with the Commission, we raise the number of registered voters in the Philippines who will vote next year for the 2022 elections. Really big shout out also to the team, the Vote Pilipinas team, who have been so tireless in their efforts in putting all of this together. Again, this is not easy, and I just want to commend all the other stakeholders who couldn't be here today because of engagement, but we thank everybody. And I think for us, what really truly matters is as we kick off the series, right? Because this is going to be a 4-part series touring the Philippines, right, across the islands. Our hope and our aim is really to inspire the young people especially, and to provide an avenue for our countrymen out there who are still wondering how they can get themselves registered, and really just to ask questions from our partners at the Commission on what's going to happen next year, the prognosis to that. And we're here to provide you guys with all of the support and hopefully information. I just want to do a shameless plug on our voter registration service test tool. It is live, and we have constantly been updating it. Thank you to the people who have been commenting on the bugs. We are not a perfect system. It's always something that we want to evolve and change. So thank you. Keep them coming. We always want to better the experience of the use of the tool. So if there's anything else that we could help with in terms of giving you more tailor-fit information just to get you to register, please do let us know. And another shameless plug, because I don't know if I'm going to get the time later, but we are looking for more volunteers and more partners. We have a very exciting panel of partners assembled here today. And I think it's going to be wonderful to invite more people here. So that's all. Thank you. I am sure we're going to be learning a lot today, and also relearning things that we probably have forgotten in this course of time that we're trying to spur people to, take action and participate in the Philippine election. So yun lang. Thank you again to everybody who supported, and to those watching online on Kumu, to our partners Kumu, ABS-CBN, for broadcasting this with us. Thank you so much. Yun lang. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone.
Thank you for that, Ces. Grabe. Seeing her speak about the project, it's so nice to know that Vote Pilipinas is truly in good hands with people who put their passion into action.
All right, that's correct, partner. So, for sure, gustong malaman ng ating viewers kung ano na nga ba ang estado ng voter registration sa Pilipinas. In 2019, there was a recorded 75.9% voter turnout. This is the percentage of people who voted as compared to those registered. For the 2022 elections, we now have 4.3 million newly registered voters, according to the Commission on Elections. So, to tell us more about this, we're bringing back the founder of Vote Pilipinas, along with Director James Jimenez from the Commission on Elections, to talk about the current status of voter registration. Good afternoon, Director James Jimenez. Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Hi, James. You're on mute.
Hi, Director
Hi, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. And congratulations on this great event.
Thank you very much, and welcome back, Ces. Thank you for joining us again. So we have some questions for you. First and foremost, we would like to find out, where do we stand now in terms of voter registration?
Well, that's a very good question, and it's very relevant considering that there are only 2 months left in the registration period. Registration ends on September 30, 2021. So now, right now, as of last count, we have around 60 million in the registry, right? That means we already have 60 million people who are registered to vote. We are on track. We are on track to reach around 61 million by 2022, which is good because 61 million was where we were at in the last elections in 2019. As far as the new voters are concerned, your numbers are right. As of last week, we had already hit 4.3 million, and we're expecting maybe another million in the next 2 months. So that would be a very great development, considering that, of course, when you have elections like this, you want as many voters as possible. So again, we expect to be hitting 61 million for 2022 in time for the elections in May next year.
All right, thank you very much. Wow, 60 million registered to vote, and it's good that we're on track. That's really wonderful news. Yes, we want as many voters as possible. Maraming salamat, Director Jimenez. Partner Mags.
All right, so what else do we need to do to close that gap before registration ends on September 30th?
Well, the most important thing really is we have to get the word out, right? That registration is still ongoing. That's the thing. During a pandemic, people tend to fear that the registration isn't going on, or that it's been suspended somehow, or that it's a difficult process. What we have to do is we have to make people understand that registration, voter registration, even during the pandemic, number one, is available. Number two, is safe, right? And that's very important. On the part of the COMELEC, what we're trying to do is we're trying to increase the number of places where you can register. Dati kasi, you could only register at the registration center itself, right? Which were COMELEC offices. Now, what we're doing is we're partnering with different developers so that we have what we call satellite registration, right? So we do that in barangay halls, we do that in churchyards in some cases, we do that in malls, or we're going to do that in malls. In fact, we're going to launch a partnership with Robinson's Land next Monday, right? So what we're doing is we're expanding basically the places where we can register. The end result will be you'll be able to register in more places and therefore be able to serve more people.
Wonderful. So it's really great, no? Because we understand that, of course, in this new normal, we also have to pivot. And with your strategy of partnering with different developers, it's really good. It's also making everything more convenient for our voters. So magrehistro
Absolutely.
na po tayo. Thank you for that, Ces and Director Jimenez. So that's right, guys. You heard it straight from the source. We only have a few months left, kaya gear up. I am registered, kaya para sa mga hindi pa, i-ready na ang inyong requirements at face mask. Pumunta na sa pinakamalapit na COMELEC office or satellite offices and magpa-rehistro. Okay, so Miss Mags, thank you very much again, Director Jimenez.
Salamat.
Oh, Ces, Miss Ces, maybe you'd like to share some inputs.
No, I think I just want to echo everything that Director James said. No, the Commission on Election has been hard at work to finding more ways in getting accessibility really open for everybody. So I think we don't have much of an excuse anymore. I know there's a pandemic, but I think we all just have to find a way to encourage our friends, diba? So when our last town hall, we launched the voter registration mobilization plan, where basically our goal in partnerships is we work with partners and they hopefully commit 100% of their staff, their students, their households, their barkada to register, no? Pwedeng going activity naman yan ng mga lalo na mga pamilya because they are going to be registering in the same place, right? So that's our call right now. Again, the tool that we have developed with COMELEC allows you to get all the information that you need so that we lessen your time in the election offices para walang, diba, we can spare everybody from the illness, diba? So once you have all of the things that you need, you know, keep in touch on the nearest place once mag-open yung mga satellite offices ng COMELEC with whether it's in the mall, and so you can come prepared, right? So that is the partnership. We've tried to think of everything for you so that you have no excuse, please, and continuously, guys, if you have further suggestions and you know things that you think we should really take on, diba? I'm sure the Office of Director James is also very open to suggestions on how we can even more expedite this whole thing and make it even better. So yun lang. Ano po to? Bayanihan spirit to at bayanihan time na we all have to work together to get the numbers even up. That's all. Thank you.
Partner Mags?
Sorry about that. So, like what I said earlier, we're very grateful for our partners and supporters in this campaign. Kaya at this moment, we're excited to give the spotlight to them. Vote Pilipinas is proud to partner with the following organizations that share the advocacy of getting people registered to vote. Commission on Elections, National Economic and Development Authority, Commission on Population and Development, Creator and Influencer Council of the Philippines, Green Bulb, Red Torch, the Philippine LGBT Chamber of Commerce, CAD Concepts and V81 Radio, Kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas, Presidential Communications Operations Office and the Freedom of Information Program, Philippine Statistics Authority, Parish Pastoral Council for Responsible Voting, ABS-CBN, Rappler, Radyo CSR, OC Records, InCircle, Towns Foundation, Spark Philippines, Kumu, and Call Industries.
All right, it's great to see so many organizations contributing to this cause, and we are very lucky to have some of our partners joining us live here on Zoom. But before that, of course, I'd like to give a message in behalf of CAD Concepts and V81 Radio, who are partnering, of course, with Vote Pilipinas to live stream this event on their platform. So CAD Concepts is an event coordination and digital production company that has been serving many since 2018. During the pandemic, it pivoted to integrate digital events and production as well. V81 and the V81 Digital Media Network, on the other hand, caters to global Pinoys through various entertainment and community programs. So papapanood ng ating mga dear OFWs and those abroad ang ating mga programa. We have 14 digital platforms worldwide, and you may follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter at V81 Radio, and download our free mobile app. So we at CAD Concepts, V81 Radio, and the whole V81 Digital Media Network are proud to support Vote Pilipinas and the 2022 elections. Meanwhile, please watch this video from V81 Radio.
Reaching out to Filipinos worldwide, the now of digital entertainment with studios in Manila, Bacolod, Hong Kong, and Los Angeles, California. This is V81 Radio Worldwide.
V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Dahil mahal namin kayo. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio.
All right, so thank you so much, CAD Concepts and V81 Radio, for supporting Vote Pilipinas and the 𝗏𝗏𝗴𝗃 downfall. Now, let us hear a special message from Spark Philippines.
Good afternoon to everyone joining us today at Vote Pilipinas 𝗏𝗏𝗃 Town Hall. I'm 𝗏𝗏𝗴𝗃, the Executive Director of Spark Philippines. With the 2022 national elections coming up, it is timely to have this kind of campaign. Thank you to Vote Pilipinas for making sure that the Filipinos have an accessible and understandable platform that provides information on how to register and vote, and non-binary updates on the candidates that are running for the upcoming elections. One of Spark's main advocacies is women's political empowerment. In fact, last June, we were able to successfully launch our first of the monthly plenary interactive discussion that will extend until August. It consists of a careful and well-thought presentation on various topics about women's political participation. We believe that the impact of such campaigns and programs would increase the understanding on the importance of political participation, especially in the role of women. We believe that promoting registration and making sure that each and every Filipino votes is vital for the future of our country. As a democratic country, it is our right to vote, and we have a responsibility to actively participate in public affairs, which is why we at Spark believe that by partnering with Vote Pilipinas under 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃 campaign, Spark will be able to continue its promotion, not only in women's political participation, but as well as the general population. Spark ensures that with this partnership with Vote Pilipinas, we will support, participate, and promote throughout the entire 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃 campaign. 2022 will be a crucial year. Your voice finds its most important means of expression in the ballot. Remember that registration is the highest act and most signal proof of patriotism. Go out and register. Thank you.
Maraming salamat. That was once again Miss Maika Teves, Executive Director of Spark, sorry. So indeed, this platform is very useful. So thank you very much again, Vote Pilipinas, and of course to Spark Pilipinas for ensuring women's political participation and for reminding the right of suffrage. Now, we have a very special announcement. Is everyone ready? Vote Pilipinas is excited to announce that it has partnered up with Smart Communications to bring activities and campaigns on voter registration and engagement. Let's watch this video from Smart Communications.
Good day, everyone, and I hope you and your loved ones are safe and healthy. We at SMART believe that voting is not just a right, but more importantly, a civic duty. This is why we are honored to partner with Vote Pilipinas, the official voter registration information campaign partner of the Commission on Elections. Our common goal with Vote Pilipinas is to inform and educate our fellow Filipinos, especially the youth, about the registration and election process, and encourage as many Filipinos as possible to do their civic duty, register, and vote. As the country's leading mobile services provider, SMART is in a unique and significant position to expand the reach of Vote Pilipinas using the power of digital technology enabled by our nationwidest and fastest network. As a brand, we also have a special connection to the Filipino youth, whom we have been empowering with relevant services and technology made simple so that they may pursue their passions with a deeper and bigger purpose. We are particularly excited to be doing this for the Filipino youth, especially because we have always believed in their power to positively impact our society. We believe that there is no better way to enable them to show this than by participating in the upcoming elections, especially because the youth have the biggest stake in our country's future. We hope that you can join us in this movement to urge everyone to register and make your vote count. Tell your barkada, your family, your colleagues, everyone, live smart, vote smart. Thank you very much.
Thank you to Smart Communications for that. I totally agree that we need to activate the youth, and we're so grateful to have Smart Communications as our partner in promoting this to our young people. Okay, so thank you very much for that, for your support to Vote Pilipinas. I'm excited to see what this partnership has in store for the campaign. Now we turn to our roster of partners joining us now live here on Zoom. To start, we have the Commissioner of the Commission on Population and Development of the National Economic and Development Authority, Dr. Dexter Galban. We also have the Chairperson of the Philippine LGBT Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Ron Astillas, and their Director for Partnership and External Affairs, Ms. Angel Romero. From the Creator and Influencer Council of the Philippines, we have their Director for Legal, Public Policy, and Government Relations, Attorney Goyo Larrazabal, and Ms. Irene Acerios, their Director for Youth and Academy. Also representing CICP is the President and CEO of Green Bulb and Red Torch, Ms. Leah Caringal. I think we also have with us someone from Smart Communications. Is Ms. Cess here in the Zoom call as well? Hi, good afternoon to all our partners.
Hi, good afternoon, Mark and Dor. Happy Pride to everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, it's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, so I guess we can start our first question for all our panelists this afternoon. Why did you agree to partner with us?
Should I take the floor first, Mark? And
Yes,
Dor?
go ahead, Ron.
Let me do this quickly. I think it's high time that a milestone event such as this partnership with COMELEC and Vote Pilipinas happens rather in partnership with an underrepresented sector of societies. So us in the Philippine LGBT Chamber of Commerce, we want to mainstream the consciousness of the public in terms of understanding the plight and the desires of the LGBT community. So I thought COMELEC is doing a very important job together with Vote Pilipinas, CES, and the team for ensuring that all sectors are represented, because for us, Pride will always be about political empowerment. And what better way to do this is to make sure that you register and you also vote and exercise your right, even if we are underrepresented at this point. So I guess that's the reason why we believe in the core value of this partnership, Marks and Dor.
All right, thank you for that, Ron. And of course, this panel won't be complete without the founder of Vote Pilipinas, Ms. Ces. So, Ces, welcome, and hope you can join us.
Yeah, no, I just want to quickly we have partners who can't be here, obviously to share the plans that we have, but just to assure everybody, our partners, Smart Communications especially, we are preparing some really exciting things for everybody. We're gonna try to make all of this worth all of your while in registration and going into the COMELEC offices. So do stay tuned for that. We have a lot of exciting parang activities planned. Also because I think our partners, Smart Communications and all the other ones, all believe that we all have the same future to look forward to. Diba? Lahat naman tayo papunta doon, and we all want to be participative to building onto that future. So yan lang. Maybe later we can talk more about that.
Okay, I agree, Ces. Thank you so much. So Ces is a smart voter and a smart founder of Vote Pilipinas. Maraming salamat sa iyo, Ces. Okay, may we ask the other panelists, why did you agree to partner with us?
Oh,
Perhaps I can go next. So the Commission on Population and Development, particularly as an attached agency of the National Economic and Development Authority, or NEDA, believes that in any election, the most important voice is always that of the people. And it has been, is, and will forever be the case. So when it comes to spreading the word, particularly on voter registration, with CSOs, NGOs, and any entity that's championing the welfare of the Filipino family. For us, we have this tagline that we believe na panalo ang planado. And what better way to prepare for the future than planning your vote correctly and registering so that you can take part of the democratic process and tell the world that this is the vote of the Filipino family.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dexter Galvan. So that is correct. Panalo ang planado. I love that. So let us all make plans to register if you haven't yet, because you wouldn't want to miss out on voting in the 2022 elections. Thank you very much. How about our other panelists? Please feel free to chime in when you're ready. All right, I think we can spotlight the video of our other panelists. Okay, maybe while waiting for that, I think, Dor, what other questions do we have for our panelists?
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, Partner Mags. So another question that we'd like to ask is, what can you commit to the partnership? Like, for instance, values, incentives for those who'd like to register to vote, or whatever else you may share, no? Very interesting question, right? Who would like to start?
I know. Well, I'm tempted to say that by partnering with Vote Pilipinas, you can also already consider yourself as a partner of the LGBT Chamber of Commerce, and because we believe that representation matters, and I think authentic representation has to be upheld by each and every one of us. So we believe in all these companies, individuals, professionals, especially last month when we celebrated Pride Month, ensuring that they not just represent the LGBT community, they do not just embrace us, but they really walk the talk. So I'd like to say that your partnership with Vote Pilipinas can also be translated to your partnership and support to the members of the LGBT plus community. So I think that's a good incentive, right, Dor? Mark?
Definitely, definitely, Chair. I totally agree, and I like what you said about authentic representation, which definitely must be upheld. So, maraming salamat. That's very wonderful incentive. How about you, Dr. Dexter? Any incentives that you'd like to share?
Well, for me, it's very interesting because Vote Pilipinas is a wonderful platform for everyone to know the critical issues that we need to talk about during election season. And that is one of the reasons why Popcom and NEDA are really keen in partnering with Vote Pilipinas, because we are able to raise issues, for example, on reproductive health, teenage pregnancies, mental health, climate action, because all of these things seemingly separate and unrelated are actually all affecting people. At pagtawang usapan, dapat involve tayong lahat. That's why we want it to be very inclusive. So all of the issues, the factors, the metrics that you need to know, whether about the economy or the population or anything under the sun, we hope to provide assistance so that people will have informed decisions and will be able to cast their vote for the people that they believe can help move our country forward, always to empower the Filipino family.
Yeah, I'm also from the chamber, so I just want to echo what our chair said, that really representation matters. And it's also connected to what we're doing in the chamber, which is the LGBT Vote PH. It gives you also an opportunity to actually share and share your thoughts and use your voice correctly. And the first step is really registering and making sure that your vote counts.
All right, thank you, Angel, for that. I think we also have in this call just this afternoon, she just came in from Red Torch, Miss Leah Caringal. Are you here with us, Miss Leah Caringal?
Yeah, hi. Hi, good afternoon. Sorry, I came in earlier and left and I'm now back. Hi, Cess, how are you?
Hi, good.
Hi, so I'm actually wearing several hats for this afternoon. I'm the founder and CEO of 𝗃𝗵𝗶𝘀𝗁 Communications and Red Torch Communications, but at the same time, I'm also founding board member of 𝗃cije 𝗞, the Creator and Influencer Council of the Philippines, along with, I don't know if Attorney Goyo is here already, and Irene, if they are, I hope that they're here. So I represent a few organizations for this afternoon.
All right, so thank you so much for joining us. Just a few questions for you. So first and foremost, why did you agree to partner with Vote Pilipinas?
It was an easy decision for me to do. So I spoke to Jim. In fact, it was I think 𝗃cije who was originally the one approached by 𝗧esse. And through Jim Guzman, I had met 𝗧esse, and I was just really taken and inspired by 𝗧esse and the team's dedication to ensure that the voting process is known to many, and thus, from commitment to be part of Vote Pilipinas from 𝗃cije, I extended the commitment to even my personal companies, 𝗃𝗵𝗶𝘀𝗁 Communications and Red Torch Communications. So I think some of my teammates are here as well. Maki, I hope you're here. And I know that there's some media who are joining us this afternoon. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much to 𝗃cije and the 𝗃𝗵𝗶𝘀𝗁 and Red Torch for partnering with Vote Pilipinas. So another question that we asked earlier to our other partners was, what can you commit to the partnership?
As mentioned to 𝗧esse when he spoke a few weeks ago, from Red Torch and 𝗃𝗵𝗶𝘀𝗁 Communications, what we can really commit is helping you get a platform through traditional digital media. That's why we invite a lot of our media partners here to join us, including I think today we're with I think ABS and Inquirers here, if I'm not mistaken. Maki, am I saying the right thing? And then from 𝗃CP, obviously, because of our members who are influential in the social media space, it's also using 𝗃CP as a platform to disseminate and share more information from Vote Pilipinas.
Yes, that's awesome. I think we need all the support we can get to reach as many people as possible to reach our goal of 7 million registered voters. Do you have a final message to those watching now? We have people on Facebook, Kumu, V81 Radio. A final message for them.
I'm really excited for Vote Pilipinas and the partnerships that we have forged. I know this is and this is the first of many events coming up. And again, really eye on the ball. The real reason why we committed ourselves here and why we're all here is we really want a 2022 election that is above board, that is clean, that is known to many, that is visible to all, because we truly deserve good and great leaders for our future.
Yes, I couldn't agree with you more. We do deserve great leaders for our future, for our country. We need a lot of teamwork in this, and it begins with first and foremost registering to vote. So thank you so much for partnering with us. And thank you to all our other partners also who joined us this afternoon. Again, from NEDA, we have Dr. Dexter, and then Dr. Dexter Galban from the Philippine LGBT Chamber of Commerce, Ron Astillas, and also Ms. Angel Romero. Thank you so much to our partners who are dedicated in really promoting the cause for voting and registering for the 2022 elections. Iba talaga ang commitment ng ating mga partners in making sure that everyone is doing their best to get registered. So if you're waiting for that sign, a while ago we talked about that. This is it, guys. A lot of our partners are committing their time and are willing to share this message. Now it is your turn as a citizen of the Philippines. All right. So for our next segment, pagkakataon na natin para makakuha ng messages and reminders straight from our local election officers. Kaya tutok lang tayo sa ating screens. Para sa ating unang feature, aalamin natin ang best practices at ilan pang mga paalala mula sa mga ating local election officers. From Antipolo, we have Attorney Joseph S. Vega. Are you here, sir?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, I'm very happy to join you in this town hall meeting.
All right. And from Dagupan, we have Attorney Michael Frank Sarmiento. Magandang hapon po.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to showcase our service for everyone.
Yes, thank you so much to both attorneys for joining us this afternoon. We're so happy that you can join Vote Pilipinas in our town hall. Siguro po, simulan po natin, how did you manage the voter registration given the COVID situation? Kasi po siguro ngayon, iniisip ng mga tao, pandemya, bakit pa ako lalabas para mag-register? Baka delikado yan. Ano po ba yung mga adjustments na ginawa nyo sa kanilang cities?
Sa akin na, challenge yun kasi marami yung nagre-rehistro. So ang pinakauna talaga namin ginawa, dapat safe talaga yung health safety standards. Hindi lang minimum, maximum standards ang aming sinunod. So yung mga windows na may mga speakers na. Ang maganda kasi in partnership din with the LGU, meron sila ng mga QR codes. So yung pupunta ron, so kahit hindi na mag-fill up ng mga health declaration form kasi malalaman mo kung sino yung pupunta. Tapos in partnership also with City Health, marami kaming mga nilagay, hindi ko na kayang i-enumerate lahat. Pero ang pinaka-importante naman doon is na makita namin na nagre-rehistro pero safe pa rin yung mga tao. Kaya lang hindi rin talagang may nagpa-positive pa rin minsan.
Ganun po ba talaga? Pero salamat po, no, sir. So, I think, no, if a lot of people go to malls, no, nagmo-malling sila para mamili ng kahit ano, kapag may sale, marami pa rin tao sa mall. Siguro, ano rin, no, basta may safety protocols tayo, pag nagre-register, I think that's a very good way to at least provide that additional security for the health of our citizens. Ano po ba ngayon, sir, ang status ng community quarantine sa Antipolo?
GCQ kami ngayon with some restrictions pa rin like NCR. Parang kasama kami sa NCR bubble. So yun pa rin. Although continuing pa rin. Nung MECQ, due to our COMELEC protocols, we have to stop registration, applications for registration. Pero ngayon, tuloy-tuloy na po kami.
Okay, so just to clarify, no, tuloy-tuloy po ang pagre-rehistro. We have until September 30. So sa mga taga-Antipolo dyan, tuloy nyo lang po yan. Diretso po tayo doon. There are safety protocols in place and QR codes also there to track, no, those people who actually go to register for contact tracing. How about for Attorney Michael? Kumusta po dyan sa Dagupan? How did you manage the voter registration given the COVID situation?
Well, for entire Pangasinan, matagal naman na kaming modified GCQ. So, very smooth naman yung ating registration flow. All safety protocols are in place. In fact, with the help of our LGU counterparts, very strict po yung ating pag-implement ng ating social distancing and other safety protocols. Now, for Dagupan, we do not allow our registrants to share common table. Actually, bumili kami ng mga upuan na mayroong armchair, yung ginagamit sa school so that tipid siya sa space, unlike sa mga big tables na usually dalawa lang ang nakakagamit. So, yun, na-maximize namin yung maliit na space ng aming opisina. And ang napansin ko kasi, COMELEC lang yata yung strictly implement ng face shield and face mask. I've been noticing other government transactions na face mask lang. But for us, talagang very strict yung implementation ng face shield and face mask. And nakita na namin yung significant increase of our daily turnout. It's not because nagiging complacent na yung tao, but ang base sa mga interviews natin, nakikita na nila yung significance ng pagpaparehistro. In fact, yun na nga, very pivotal kasi itong pandemic na ito to gauge yung performance ng ating mga incumbent officials, no? So yan yung nagiging yung nakakatulong sa COMELEC to attract our constituents na magpa-register. So yung yung anxiety to go to our registration sites, basically nabawasan na yan. Maganda naman yung ating mga communication channels with our partners such as DepEd, PNP, yung ating mga media in terms of information dissemination. So in fact, from 107,000 last 2019 national and local elections, tumatakbo na kami ng 130,000. So we are breaching the 130,000 mark, and this figure is the biggest entire Region 1.
Wow, that's so good to know. Thank you for sharing that with us, Attorney. Hopefully all the other cities follow suit. We increase the cases of registered voters and not the cases of COVID, no? So it's very good that you have those protocols and people are really going out to register despite all of the the quarantine restrictions that you may have. So siguro po for the both of you, ano po yung advice na mabibigay nyo sa mga mamamayan na siguro may konting takot pa o kaya nag-aatubili na lumabas para mag-register? Ano po yung message nyo? Maybe we can start with you first, Attorney Michael.
Yeah, ganito lang 'yon, ano. If you can afford to attend birthday celebrations amid pandemic, mas mahalaga naman siguro na ipakita niyo yung yung pagiging Pilipino niyo at yung pagmamahal niyo sa bansa sa pamamagitan ng pagrehistro. Of course, it will not end sa pagpaparehistro. After registration, of course, we will encourage na bumoto sila. No, this is indispensable para marinig ng ating mga leaders kung ano ba talaga yung gusto nating pagbabago.
Tama. So ang pagbabago nagsisimula sa atin, no? And that starts with the first step, which is registration. All right. How about for you po, sir? Attorney Joseph?
Gusto ko lang din sundan yung sinabi ng aking kasamahan na pag nagre-rehistro po, sana ang nasa isip talaga natin ay bumoto. Sa Antipolo po kasi, hindi naman kami nagkukulang minsan ng rehistro. Ako na po yung sumusuko minsan sa nagre-rehistro.
Mabuti po yun.
Kaya lang, dahil hindi bumoboto, nababawasan po yung botante kasi natatanggal sila pag twice to vote. Sa akin po dati kasi, umabot na ako ng more than 450,000 na botante. Tapos ngayon, parang nasa 444,000. So parang mas kumonti tuloy ngayon in spite na nagre-rehistro kami ng tuloy-tuloy. Kaya gusto ko talaga sundan yung sinabi ni attorney na sana bumoto po tayo kasi natatanggal po tayo sa listahan under the rules. Pag twice na hindi po tayo bumoto, mawawala po tayo. Madadagdagan po ulit yung trabaho namin na imbis yung bagong botante, yung amin pong etiqueter, dadagdag pa po sila para magpa-reactivate. So sana po, sa mga iba rin po, lalong dito po sa Rizal, meron din po mga lugar na hindi rin po napupuntahan ng mga botante, natatakot pa rin. Ini-invite pa rin po namin kayo na sana po kayo ay mag-rehistro pa rin. Ang maganda po ang ginagawa ng COMELEC, lalo na po sa pamunuan ng aming chairman at kina Director James, yun po nakikipag-usap na sa mall. Kasi sa iba sa amin, lalo na po sa akin, ang problema ko po kasi yung space. Dati, pwede pumasok sa office namin, aircon po yun, doon kami nag-capturing, ngayon hindi na, so sa window na lang, so nalilimitahan na lang po kami. Naawa po ako nung last time, kasi namigay kami ng number, naghanda na po ako ng number for 1 whole month para hindi na sila magsasabi na bumabalik-balik sila to get their numbers. July 1 pa lang po, naubos na yung pang isang buwan ko, 2,200 po yung pumila doon. So talagang marami ang gusto talagang magrehistro. Nalilimitahan lang po kami, pasensya na po, nalilimitahan lang kami ng mga health protocols minsan kasi hindi po tayo pwede magkagrupo ng marami. Pero gumagawa po ng paraan yung COMELEC para marehistro po kayo at pumunta lang po kayo, magtanong po kayo at may inform naman po kayo.
Okay, maraming salamat po, attorney. So, nabanggit niyo po na meron kayong mga adjustments, no, for those who really want to register, and I think that's a very good incentive for those who haven't registered yet. Tsaka tama po yung sinabi niyo, no, kapag hindi na nakaboto 2 times, sayang po talaga. So yung mga hindi po nakaboto the past 2 times, huwag po kayo mag-alala. Now's your chance to vote, diba? And to take advantage of this opportunity. So ano po, pandagdag lang po, no? Any last reminders po para sa publiko?
Sa akin po siguro, just know kung ano po talaga yung dadalhin doon. Magdala na po ng tamang requirements, ID with picture with para hindi na po tayo pabalik-balik. Sa amin po minsan nagagalit kasi hindi nila alam kung ano yung mga requirements. Minsan nagdadala, akala okay na. At sana rin po, let us pray na maging successful pa rin ang ating registration sa buong bansa at tuloy-tuloy po hanggang election. Asahan niyo po kami pong mga election officer ninyo ay talagang gagawin ng lahat ng paraan para matuloy ng maayos ang election na to.
Maraming salamat po sa serbisyo. Sir, before you go, no, we would like to ask you another question before I turn it over to Attorney Michael. Paki-reiterate na lang po siguro, no, ano po yung schedule ninyo sa Antipolo for registration, and maybe a brief overview of the requirements they will need to bring para po maingganyo po silang handa at planado ang kanilang pagrehistro.
Sa Antipolo po, particular sa amin, ang schedule po ay 8 to 5, like all election officers. Pero po sa akin kasi yung number ko, I already give the numbers, the queuing numbers in advance para hindi po nagka-crowd. Ang nagkataon lang po yung July sa isang araw na ibigay ko na lahat. So napuno po yung July namin. Aside sa queuing numbers, may online pa po kami na nakaschedule. So ang mga requirements, napakasimple lang po ng requirements. Number 1 is identification. So any valid identification ID. And number 2 is to prove your residency, especially if you are transferring. So yung dalawa lang naman, kung yung ID nyo po, identification, may address na kayo ron, may picture, that is already enough. Pero pag yung ID nyo po, walang address nyo, so you have to also show us a proof na kayo talaga nakatira sa Antipolo. Doon po kasi minsan nagagalit yung iba. Like, yung passport kasi minsan, wala pong address na nilalagay. Magagalit sa amin, nahahanapan pa namin ng ibang proof. Passport is proof of identity. Pero minsan yung kung birthplace ay Antipolo, it's okay. Pero kung birthplace ay ibang lugar, halimbawa, like Manila, sometimes we ask for additional dahil magta-transfer sa ganon. Minsan po hindi naintindihan. Basta dalawa lang po yan. Proof of identification and proof of residency. If you can prove it po, you will be registered.
Okay, so just to clarify po, no, kasi baka po merong mga Meralco bill, doon po sa mga nakumupahan, no? Kailangan po ba nakapangalan sa kanila yung Meralco bill or accept niyo po ba yon? Or kailangan po talaga, kunwari may sulat galing bangko na naka-address sa kanila at nandun yung address? Ano po yung mas okay doon?
Sa akin nga po, proof of residency. So kung yung, halimbawa po kasi hindi naman nakapangalan pero nakapangalan sa tatay, the sworn statement of the tatay na doon siya nakatira is already enough to prove the residency. Marami pong proof, any billing, yung bangko, bank statement, okay naman po yan. Kahit po renta na kontrata, ina-accept na namin yan eh. Basta proof lang po na may residency. Hindi naman po kami stricto sa ganun eh. Just give us some proof and we will register you.
Okay, sige. Salamat po, sir. I think that's very helpful. So again, the schedule for Antipolo is 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. At
daily,
meron na po
Monday to Friday.
Opo, yung queuing po, paano po nila i-avail yun?
Ngayon po, ang susunod na queuing namin would be July 30 na po for August. Although we will add na siguro ng number, depende po kung maging available at maayos yung usapan with Robinson.
Okay, tsaka sana po no sa mga naka-queue na po, make sure you take your slot and sayang po kasi yung opportunity, baka po may ibang pwedeng bumoto. So sana po we can make good use of that. So thank you po, Attorney
Welcome
Joseph.
po. Thank you rin po.
Attorney Michael?
Of course, meron pa tayong 84 days para magparehistro. So if I were you, avoid yung manyana habit as early as now. Go out and register. Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and every Saturday we also hold satellite registration. So dito po sa Dagupan, we are maintaining an official Facebook page para doon po namin i-post yung ating mga schedule ng satellite registration sa barangay. Now, para naman po sa mga nagtatanong kung paano ba yung mode ng pag-a-apply ng registration dito sa Dagupan, actually pinadami na po natin yan para maging accessible yung ating registration. Una, yung conventional type na walk-in. Okay, here in Dagupan, we really not limit yung number of applicants per day kasi very smooth naman. Kaya naming mag-accommodate around 150 to 200. No? So, without compromising yung ating social distancing. So, we do not set limit. Now, another mode is yung i-rehistro na ni-launch ng ating Commission on Elections na imbis na kumuha ka ng registration form dito sa aming tanggapan, i-access mo lang yung i-rehistro so that you could accomplish through online yung registration form and have it printed. May mga instructions naman doon, friendly instructions. So, at least kapag ikaw ay nag-i-rehistro, ikaw ay mapapasama sa courtesy lane, priority ka namin, including with other senior citizen, PWD, pregnant, as well as yung mga teachers, saka uniform personnel, kasama na po sa courtesy lane namin yan. Now, another mode is yung you can also ask for copy of registration form sa barangay hall. Kasi yun na nga, hindi, ano naman to ang pagre-reproduce naman ng registration form is allowed. So there's no limit, dadaan pa rin naman sa interview. But make sure na pagpunta nyo sa tanggapan ng COMELEC, gaya po sa Antipolo, magdala po kayo ng valid ID indicating your present address in Dagupan. Now, very relax naman kami in terms of kahit wala kang valid ID, kung meron kang billing, electric billing, water billing,
pati yung
kaya enrollment form indicating your address in Dagupan, tatanggapin namin yan. Okay? Now, para naman sa mga ang magulang, botante na ng Dagupan, sa amin, birth certificate is enough para ikaw ay makapagparehistro. Sa mga nakapag-asawa naman, ng botante na sa Dagupan, we also accept your marriage certificate. No? So, pag qualified ka sa mga ganong conditions, you need not present valid ID. Now, abangan niyo po yung schedule ng ating satellite registration sa inyong barangay para hindi nyo na po ipagsiksikan yung sarili nyo dito sa aming tanggapan. But kung kayo po ay naiinip na, hindi nyo na mahintay yung schedule ng satellite, Monday to Friday, you can always drop by sa office namin.
Alright, so ang dami pong options, no? Yung i-rehistro, that's available to all LGUs, attorney?
No, online po yan. Basta meron po silang internet connection sa bahay at yung printer, magagamit po nila yung i-rehistro. Now, yun nga, yung walk-in, unfortunately, meron kasing nilaunch ang main office regarding mobile satellite registration form. Hindi kasi kasama ang Dagupan sa pilot areas. But in some areas here in Pangasinan, nilaunch na nila yan, yung offline
registration form.
So, for Dagupan, yon yung walk-in, i-rehistro, and they may also secure copy of registration form sa mga barangay hall.
All right, so there's so many options to make registration easier. Salamat po sa inyong serbisyo, Attorney Michael and Attorney Joseph. I wish you the best and hopefully dire-diretso na po ang pag-increase ng ating registered voters sa Dagupan at Antipolo at all over the Philippines. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much din po.
Okay, so ngayon po, it's time to, if you're unsure about your voter registration status, I have a clue for you. This is a good video to watch to learn more about your voter registration status.
Yan, wonderful. So to everyone who's still tuning in, we hope the features helped in making you guys more informed citizens. However, if the audience has questions, don't worry because we still have our Q&A segment with Comelec for your queries. Keep on sending your questions and messages and we'll try our best to address them. Para sagutin ang inyong mga katanungan, we have again Comelec spokesperson, Director James Jimenez. Director James?
Hi.
Hello. So we have here a few questions now, very
Sure.
exciting questions. So first is from Galvino Celies. Tanong ko po sa Comelec, ilan po ang expected na magpapa-register yung mga turning 18 for 2022 polls? And ilan po ang total registered voters per region, that being Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao?
Okay. Ang expected natin na mag-18, no, yung mga bagong registered voters na bagong eligible is 4 million actually, no. Ito yung expectation na sinet natin back in September 2019 nung sinimulan natin yung registration process. Pero sa ngayon, lampas na tayo sa 4 million. We already have 4.3 million new voters, no? Ito yung mga kabataan na ngayon lang mag-18. As for the breakdown ng ating ng registered voters, again, nationwide, we're talking about 16 million nationwide. Pero yung regional breakdown hindi ko hawak eh. But it's available on our website, no? You can check our website, www.comelec.gov.ph.
Okay, thank you very much. So please check comelec.gov.ph for the registered voters per region. Salamat po. And our next question is from Leslie George Amador. So for the 2022 elections, what is the target voters turnout and how can we accomplish it?
Well, in 2019, as a matter of record, we had a voter turnout of around 76%. I think ni-report yan kanina. But that was a midterm election. Meaning to say, it's the election after a presidential elections. Pangkaraniwan kasi, pag nagkakaroon tayo ng elections, no, yung ating voter turnouts, para siyang wave. Mataas pag presidential, mababa pag midterm, mataas pag presidential ulit. Which means we expect that in 2016, we had a voter turnout of around 80%. Right? 80%. So 80%, naging 76%. We think that we're gonna hit 80% again kahit na pandemya. And in fact, it might be higher. Historically speaking, ito yung mga nagpahalalan ng mga bansa during the pandemic actually saw an increase in the voter turnout. And this mirrors our experience in Palawan. In Palawan, nagkaroon tayo ng plebisito noong March. Ang expectation natin, mga nasa 40% lang ang turnout. As it happened, umabot tayo ng 61%. So, maaring mataas ang ating voter turnout. How do we achieve that? We achieve that by mobilizing everyone we know. Diba? Sabi nga nila, each one bring one. Bawat isang botante, magdala ka pa ng isa pa. Diba? Pag tulong-tulong tayo, lahat tayo makakaboto.
Right. Thank you very much for that. I totally agree. And very interesting data, no? Ganun pala yun, yung naging previous history natin. We do have a priority question, and this is from ABS-CBN. Question goes, two questions, Director. The first is, Comelec has transitioned to digital when it comes to the voter registration drive. We have magparehistro.com as well as extending voting registration hours. With this, can Comelec say that we are successful with the registration campaign?
Absolutely, especially considering that this is happening in the middle of a pandemic. You're looking at the voter registration turnout that has already exceeded expectations long before the end of the registration period, right? Remember, like Attorney Michael said, we're 84 days away from the end of registration, and yet we've already exceeded expectations.
That's wonderful news. Now, second question, again from ABS-CBN. Who are you targeting with this registration strategy? May iba pa bang plans to charm potential voters? Like that question.
Well, obviously, the biggest, the most important group that we're looking at right now are the new voters, right? The voters who are voting for the first time in 2022. They form the largest block of voters of all age demographics.
Thank you for that. And may pahabol po tayo, no? You mentioned 61 million kanina na target for total registered voters. Are you revising this po from the initial target of 62 million?
No, we're not. We're not. What I said was we're on track to reach around 61 million because 62 million is really the upper range, right? It's the upper range. So we don't peg it to a single number. We usually when we project, we project a range. So the range of our projection was 61 to 62 million. 62 being the upper limit of that projection.
All right. Thank you for clarifying that. A question from Kumu. Paano po ba makakuha ng voters ID?
Naku, wala na pong voters ID. 2012 pa, hindi na kami nag-i-issue ng bagong voter ID. Kung may voter ID pa man sa mga COMELEC offices, ito yung mga na-issue before 2012. But if you're looking to get an ID issued after 2012, wala na pong voter ID. Pasensya na po.
All right. Thank you for that. Next question is, how can we encourage and convince the youth to vote?
Well, you have to, sabi ko nga, una-una, no? Everyone bring one. So, bawat isa sa atin, bit-bit tayo ng isa para makaboto sila. Pangalawa, paliwanagan natin yung kabataan. No? Let's explain to the youth why it is important to vote. One of the things that we've seen dito sa COMELEC is that habang tumatagal ang panahon, habang umaandar ang mga araw, ang mga kabataan natin mas naniniwala sa mga katropa nila kaysa sa mga authority figures. So kahit na magganyan-ganyan ka sa mga bata, hindi yan makikinig sa'yo, pero makikinig yan sa mga kaibigan nila. So show them that you are a friend, number one, and show them that you believe in voting, and sila mismo magaganyak sila na magparehistro at bumoto. Because that's the way to influence them, to show them na ikaw mismo naniniwala.
Definitely, no? So, sa ating mga kabataan, no, let's show our friends na ikaw mismo ay naniniwala because the power of friendship, peers, gaya nga ng nabanggit ni Director, is very important. Okay, we have a question from Aggie Puerto. If I first registered last 2019, will I be able to see if I'm still registered using the Vote Pilipinas tool?
No, you won't. The Vote Pilipinas tool is a series of questions that will inform you about your most likely status for registration. But it will not, in that literal sense, show you your status, whether or not you're still a voter. But if you answer all of the questions, you will get a very good idea of your most likely status. In this case, malamang registered ka pa kasi 2019 ka pa lang naman nagparehistro eh. And I don't think na you missed an election, so I think you're good.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. I think that's very important, no? I also had that question in mind, actually. So next question is, can people use the new COMELEC app to register? For the new voters, some of them are a bit confused on which platform to use. So kindly clarify po, Direct.
All right. The thing with these platforms is that we're trying to make it as accessible to everyone as possible, right? So the platforms that are already out, basically yung iRehistro or iRehistro, it requires you to download a form, essentially. You fill out the form online and then you print it, you download the form and then you print it. So you need two things, right? You need the internet and you need a printer. right? You also need paper, obviously, because you're going to print it out. Yung mobile app, which is also available, will not require an internet connection. It will not require a printer. But it basically does the same thing. It gives you an application form. How does it do that? It does that by giving you a QR code. Yung QR code, dadalhin mo yan sa COMELEC office and yung COMELEC office na ang magpiprint ng form para sa'yo. Right? So again, the end result is the same. Pupunta ka pa rin sa COMELEC office, but you get there a little differently. No? So the advice is you use the platform that is most suitable for you. Right? Una-una, isipin mo na lang, yung mobile app na yan, pilot testing pa lang yan. It's only available in about 500 cities and municipalities, right? So kung hindi ka kasali doon, then obviously hindi mo siya magagamit. Sayang, sorry. It's also available only for Android phones. So kung iOS ka, then again, hindi mo siya magagamit. Sorry. Gamitin mo yung ibang platform, right? Pero at the end of the day, whatever platform you use, lahat tayo pupunta pa rin sa COMELEC office para magparehistro. And that's really the bottom line.
All right. Thank you very much, Director. No? So at this point, we'd like to temporarily pause the Q&A, if you don't mind, Director.
Sure.
And
No
then
problem.
we'd like to please recognize Commissioner 𝗿𝗴𝗃𝗵𝗶. I'd like to call on Commissioner 𝗿𝗴𝗃𝗵𝗶 to share a speech for everyone. It's truly an honor. So I would like to ask everyone who's watching to please give a warm welcome to Commissioner Maria Rowena V. Guanzon.
Thank you to this group for inviting me. Sorry, this has been a very busy day. We just finished inaugurating a COMELEC office of the election officer in Manapla, Negros Occidental, which is, well, out of town from here. I'm sending you my warm greetings from my home city, Cadiz, Negros Occidental. And I hope that this message can reach as many people as possible. The May 2022 elections will be an election like no other because we are facing a pandemic. And by May 2022, we will not have achieved herd immunity. I doubt if even 1/2 of our voting population will be vaccinated by then. It is an election like no other because the rules of the game must change. The method of campaign will have to change because you cannot do face-to-face. I mean, you cannot do a big crowd, rally. And so there's a lot of reliance on social media as a campaign platform, which is difficult for COMELEC to compute in terms of campaign expenses. We're hoping, of course, the experts will be able to help us with that. It's also an election like no other because, well, we're electing a president. Not only that we are in a pandemic, but that our country, which is not rich, is in debt. Well, because the government had to solve the pandemic. I mean, all the health issues arising from the pandemic. And well, our economy is in a bad shape, and unemployment is around what, 3.8 million, and I wonder how many of those are women. So it's going to be a hotly contested election because in the last election, the country was, the voters and the people were really polarized. Talagang either dun ka or dito ka. The lines were clearly drawn in. And the method of the campaign, even through Facebook, was fierce. So when you use a lot of social media for campaigning, then the behavior of people also change because they think that they cannot be seen, right? Or even if they're identified, that the law will not catch up with them. So again, the challenge for COMELEC is to reform all these rules in an environment where social media is going to be used very wide for campaigning, and also for now should be so that people can vote in May 2022, should be to register as many people as possible. So COMELEC has registration up to Saturdays, up to 5 o'clock. We don't know if we can do Sundays also, but I think we should, because now a lot of people are vaccinated, so they go out to register. They feel safer. Even those not vaccinated, they risk it because now they know how to avoid getting contaminated by following health protocols. So we're still at what? We've registered 4.8. I'm not so sure. You asked James about that. But our target should have been 4 million for new voters who are turning 18 on or before May 9, and 7 million, less 300,000, whose registration were canceled because they failed to vote 2 times. Of course, there are also probably a million people who have not at all registered before. I know some people, actually, they're registering for the first time. And of course, our overseas voters also. Going to the election offices to do your biometrics is really, it's something that we cannot escape. And so we don't have any technology that can capture your biometrics, except if you do it in person, right? So the other things that we're planning are still, not finalized, such as we are proposing, I'm proposing that if citizens already have a passport, then they already have biometrics, right, with the DFA. If it's possible for DFA to share it with COMELEC, then perhaps in the future, people who have passports won't have to go to COMELEC. We'll just verify it with the DFA data. I mean, not only overseas voters, but domestic voters as well. So it's not heating up yet because it's not yet time for filing certificates of candidacy, but you will feel it by August. And there are some reforms that you would like to do. One of them is that for computing campaign expenses, we would like, I think the majority of us agree that once the candidate files their certificate of candidacy, then the clock starts ticking for campaign finance. So all the expenses should be counted from the time immediately, upon submission of the certificate of candidacy. we don't have yet, but we are trying to look for a way to compute ads through social media like Facebook or Twitter. So that's one big project really that I would like to see done before I retire on February 2 next year. Because we cannot regulate the use of social media because we don't have the technology for that. I mean, but I think we can compute the expenses if Facebook will help us or if Twitter will help us. And then, of course, there's the rules on, it's not premature campaigning if they have not yet filed their candidacies. I mean, there's got to be a way to level the playing field because the duty of COMELEC is to conduct an election that is fair for all, whether they're rich or they're poor or they're incumbent or they're not. So those are the things that we have to do before the filing of candidacy. Also, we have some amendments or reforms of the rules on party list, and aside from the requirement of publication, otherwise the petition is void, which was the case of Duterte Youth, 𝗃𝗵𝗶𝘀𝗁, which is why I dissented in that bank decision or resolution to issue a certification or your certificate of, that they can already take a seat. Anyway, there are so many things that we can do under this new scenario of running elections during a pandemic. But as to the basics of running an election, we have as model the conduct of the plebiscite in Palawan, where there was a proposal by law to divide Palawan into 3 provinces, and the no votes won. And despite the pandemic and storm, people went out and lined up and waited, and 60%, the turnout was 60%. The average turnout in the last national elections around 70%. So 60% for a plebiscite is really good. So how did that happen? That happened because people organized years before, knowing that the bill was in Congress. Just like in Georgia, the state of Georgia in the USA, when they planned it 2 years before, 3 years before the election, they mobilized people to register, the minorities to register, those unemployed to register, and well, it used to be a Republican state, but Trump was beaten in the state of Georgia. So registration to not only choosing the candidate that you like, but to move as a people. So I asked the Catholic schools, why don't you excuse your students, half a day on a Saturday or half a day on a Friday, no online class, and then you make sure that they register. As to persons with disability and senior citizens, well, now we are doing barangay satellite registrations for LGUs that have zero transmission of COVID, but that's not enough. So hopefully the bill that is now in the hands of Senator Amy Marcos will pass. It's the early voting law that will give them, the persons with disability and senior citizens, the opportunity to vote 1 week before midnight. So this law will really change the voting behavior of senior citizens and persons with disability. Because as a minority group, no, they would tend not to vote. But if they have, they can vote ahead, you know, so they can vote with less people, and they have transportation available, then that's great. I think the turnout for those groups should be over 6%. So and then organizing are two key action points that every organization should do. Because without registration, there's no way you can, well, obviously you cannot cast your vote, but you know, if people want to change their government or they want to retain the government, then this is their power. This is the exercise of their power, the vote that can do that for them. So again, we cannot overemphasize the need to register. So all non-government organizations, civic groups, educators, you know, youth groups, I keep on saying, you really have to organize and mobilize people to register. If you're running community pantries, why don't you put up one near the election COMELEC office? So when they register, they can also, on the way out, grab one food pack, you know, if they need it. And so, well, that's not vote buying because it's registration. Are, you know, you don't even know who owns them. They just put the food packs there. You know? So there's so many things that we can do and you can do. We're glad in COMELEC that we have partners like you to work with in achieving a fair and honest elections for the sake of the people. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much, Commissioner. No? That was really, really wonderful news. And it's truly an honor to have you. So much interesting information, guidance, and reminders of the right to register. I'm pretty sure our viewers are now more knowledgeable about the efforts of COMELEC and what we have in store for the next months. Indeed, the May 2022 elections is something unique because it will be amidst the pandemic. There's a pivot in terms of the rules of COMELEC, tools, inclusion of registrants and voters, and so much more. And I'd like to reiterate that the behavior has changed as a result of digitization, in particular social media. So much more changes and learnings that we are looking forward to. Truly, truly glad to be part of this because the COMELEC is working its way to find a lot of ways to make registration safer for everyone. Kudos, ma'am. And I would say that indeed, you're also one of the frontliners we're thankful for. August is here, so everyone, let's get ready. In the meantime, I'd like to call back Director James for the remaining questions. Director James?
Hi.
Hello again. So, okay, a few more questions. From Gabriel Lalo of Inquirer.
Go ahead.
Is there a possibility that the number of registered voters would exceed 62 million? And if so, is COMELEC prepared to handle that?
Well, you know, in terms of when you're talking about what's in the realm of possibility, certainly, why not? But it's unlikely to exceed that number.
Thank you very much for that. Next question from Kumu. Paano po ba magparehistro from abroad?
From abroad. If you're abroad, then you go to the embassy or consulate in the country where you're in. You know, sometimes it's in the same country that you're in. Sometimes it's in a different country altogether. Sa Europe kasi, hindi lahat ng European countries may konsulada. So sometimes you have to transfer to a different country just to go to a consulate there. But anyway, that's the bottom line. You go to the consulate or to the embassy, tas doon kayo magpaparehistro. Meron pong mga nakatalagang tao doon, yung DFA, na mag-handle ng inyong voter registration. So pupunta lang kayo doon.
All right, thank you. Next question is, would it be possible to have a fully online or bahay-bahay process? Because many people are unable to leave homes due to low immune system.
Katulad ng sinabi kanina ni Commissioner Guanzon, no, in her excellent speech, she said that you still have to go to the COMELEC office because the law requires that you give your biometrics. And unfortunately, there is no technology that allows us to gather biometrics remotely. Hindi tayo pwede mag-biometrics sa ibang lugar tapos papasok sa COMELEC office through the internet. Walang ganun. So kailangan talaga nandun ka sa mismong COMELEC office. So for now, wala pa tayong fully online process.
All right, thank you for that. Next question from Galvino Celies. May mall registration na po ba?
Magkakaroon. And that's why we're launching the partnership with the mall developer this Monday.
Ayan,
Stay tuned.
malapit na po. Stay tuned, no? Monday na po yan. And the next question goes from Alex Luis King Alipon. Are COMELEC offices available for walk-ins? If yes, which offices allow that?
All offices allow that.
Ayun. Wonderful. I think that's about it in terms of the questions.
All right.
Okay, any more? Okay. So thank you very much, Director James.
Sure.
We hope that your questions have been answered. Pero for more information, Vote Pilipinas is here to help you. Just visit our website, votepilipinas.com. And you may also message our social media pages at Vote Pilipinas on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and COMELEC on Facebook and Twitter as well. And coming very soon, watch out for Vote Pilipinas hashtag Register for Pinas Challenge, where voters will get the chance to be rewarded with exciting prizes when they post about their proof of registration. Very, very exciting. So for this, let's call on Mrs. Rondario.
First of all, I don't know if Commissioner Guanzon is still here, but I want to say thank you so much for gracing our town hall. Such a pleasure to have you, ma'am. And I want to say thank you also to the people from COMELEC for helping us coordinate that. And I think, James, you're going to be so excited because tagal na natin tinatrabaho yung Register for Pinas Challenge. It's finally happening. We are going to be launching it on in next week. So stay tuned for that.
Am I eligible?
No. Sorry. Both Filipino core team and COMELEC and Impact Hub Manila not allowed. Sorry. We have to be fair.
Okay.
But so the I think we were trying to do a lot of may question kanina about what strategies are we gonna do, and I think down the wire, my favorite term si Director James na we were coining yung final countdown, no, Director James. So as we go towards that, on July 30 yung start po ng ating Register for Pinas Challenge. We will be posting about it, but I can already mention that Smart Communications has already committed prizes for this challenge. Marami pa po. We are still finalizing a lot of contracts and MOAs with a lot of partners who are going to be giving exciting prizes. And all you guys have to do is take a picture of your registration stub, upload it. We will be giving hashtags, and every week we will be choosing anywhere between 50 to 100 winners nationwide po yan. So we are very, very excited for this initiative. Starting July 30 na po to, we're gonna start doing this every week. We will be drawing winners, and hopefully we can encourage more and more people to register, no? For those who've already registered, okay lang po yun, pero we will be asking you to tag those you think needs to still register for you to qualify. May tagging system po tayo dito para, you know, we can multiply our impact and our reach for the coming election. So yun, hanggang July 30 po yan, hanggang September 30, from July 30 to September 30 po, sisimulan po namin yung announcement sometime next week. Pero marami na po nag-commit ng prizes at napaka-exciting po ng mga prizes. Naingit ako. Pero malapit na po yan. So I hope you can all stay tuned and be ready to tag away and, you know, tag doon, hashtag us out. Yan. So we will be announcing that very soon.
All right.
Okay. Yan, very, very exciting, no? Pati ako gusto ko tuloy. So don't forget, hashtag, yan, tag everyone. So again, thank you very much, Ms. Ces, for giving us more information regarding the hashtag Register for Pinas Challenge. Partner Mags?
Correct. I am so excited sa balita ni Ces. May mga amazing, exciting prizes tayo from our partners like Smart Communications, and I can't wait to hopefully win that as well. So ngayon, at this point, we want to share you a video that I think will really hopefully inspire us to register to vote. Lahat tayo, Pilipino, lahat tayo ay may karapatang magparehistro at bumoto. Gaya nga ng sabi ni Ma'am Guanzon kanina, no? Kahit yung mga taong with disabilities, mayaman, mahirap, lahat tayo ay merong karapatang bumoto. So if you want to know who else is a registered voter, let's watch this video.
Magparehistro para makaboto.
Magparehistro
Para makaboto.
Ako si 𝗃𝗏𝗵𝗀𝗶𝗃. Magparehistro para makaboto.
Ako si 𝗃𝗏𝗵𝗀𝗃𝗏𝗃. Magparehistro
Para makaboto.
para makaboto.
Para makaboto.
Ako si 𝗃𝗏𝗴𝗃𝗏𝗵𝗀𝗃. Magparehistro para makaboto. Magparehistro.
Para sa Pilipinas.
Para sa Pilipinas. Para sa Pilipinas.
Para sa Pilipinas.
Ikaw.
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 Ikaw. Ikaw.
Ikaw. Magparehistro ka na.
Magparehistro ka na.
Yan. So again, magparehistro para makaboto para sa Pilipinas. We hope you guys are as motivated as we are. So much wonderful news. Kaya to our viewers, make sure that you're registered and invite your friends and family to be registered voters if they aren't yet. So joining us for the closing remarks once again is, of course, our COMELEC spokesperson, Director James Jimenez.
Hello. Hello again. Thank you very much for everyone who joined today's town hall. It was a very enlightening afternoon, I think. And thank you very much to all of the sponsors and all of the partners who are really, you know, walking the talk. Ika nga, no? They're really putting their resources, their time, their effort behind this drive to get people registered. Very few things in life are as important right now as becoming part of the democracy that sustains us. We have to sustain the democracy that we enjoy. So we have to be part of this process. So again, together with Vote Pilipinas, COMELEC is working very hard to make sure that voter registration is accessible to all. And we hope that everyone does their own share in calling other people to register. Napakahalaga po na tulong-tulong tayo para lahat tayo makaboto sa 2022. Thank you very much for joining us today and good luck with everything else.
Thank you once again, COMELEC spokesperson, Director James Jimenez, for joining us this evening. Vote Pilipinas is right behind you and the COMELEC in promoting voter registration. Alalahanin po natin, magparehistro para makaboto para sa Pilipinas. Once again, thank you everyone for spending your afternoon with us in this online event. To our viewers from across our streaming platforms, maraming salamat po. Your presence is appreciated and we hope that you guys have learned a lot. Please keep on joining Vote Pilipinas and COMELEC in its pursuit of encouraging more people to register for the 2022 elections. Sana ay patuloy niyong suportahan ang mga sumusunod na projects at events na inihahanda ng Vote Pilipinas para sa inyo. So for updates, you can follow their social media pages. Vote Pilipinas. Please like their Facebook page as well as COMELEC in Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Also, please don't forget to use these hashtags to help spread voter information. Hashtag Vote Pilipinas, hashtag magparehistro ka, hashtag para sa bayan, and let more people know about the campaign. Pwede nyo rin bisitahin ang website comelec.gov.ph at votepilipinas.com para sa iba pang impormasyon at para masubukan nyo rin ang voter registration service test. Hikayatin ang inyong mga kapamilya at kaibigan, huwag niyong kalimutan magparehistro. Tuparin natin ang tungkulin natin para sa Pilipinas, lagit-lagi para sa bayan. Again, this has been your host, 𝗿𝗴𝗵𝗶𝘀𝗵𝗶.
And this has been Margot Valdez.
Have a great day muli at magandang gabi sa inyong lahat.